Okay, so I can be the first to admit when I'm wrong, but I just want to make it clear that I wouldn't have been right either if I'd kept my original answer. Whatever is going on here, it's not Kaito. It's someone else. So you're off the hook this time, Kaito. But I'm watching you. Don't get comfortable. Anyway, hey, welcome to the Chapter 37 review. It's not even the middle of the month and I'm already getting this out. It's almost like I'm getting my life together or something. I wish. Anyway, so let's talk about this chapter. So we start back where we left off with Shaoran getting completely wrecked by magic. Again, don't know whose. We do see that Tomoyo tries to catch it on film, and what's interesting is that on film, all you see is, I guess, some light, but in, I guess, I don't know, what is this, Shaoran vision, we do see a bunch of characters pop up, and it's Tsubasa happening all over again. I mean, like, I don't think that's like I don't think those are the graphics that, like, Phi used in Tsubasa, but I think that's kind of like that fake Chinese-looking stuff that comes up with, like, the Clow Reed's evil brother, Fei Wong, that's what his name is. Or I guess maybe some of Shaoran's casting, like, that also had that same stuff in it. Whoever's casting the spell, their focus is only to keep Shaoran away from Sakura, because everyone else can come into contact with her fine. Tomoyo is fine, Kiro is fine, Suppi's fine. Presumably everyone who touches Sakura is fine, except Shaoran. Are we entirely sure that Toya does not have magic? So yeah, Sakura isn't responsible for whatever's going on there either. It's not a clear card, but presumably what she is responsible for is what happens the next day. When she's walking to school, she meets up with Akiho, and then suddenly, she's really tiny. We don't know if that's a clear card, but one presumes it is, because we can't keep having weird things happen to Sakura that are not clear cards. It's in the name of the series, it's Cardcaptor Sakura clear card. Kaito still needs Sakura to keep making cards, so presumably the story is going to go back to formula at some point, and that's what I'm expecting this to be, in another one of those instances where they're recycling an element from the original anime. Like they did that with Snooze. There was no sleep card in the original manga, but they made one up for the anime. Now they have what is presumably going to be called Shrink, or Small, or Micro, or something. The point is, it's a magic card that made Sakura small. I don't understand exactly why she became small, because usually the way these clear cards have been going is they're kind of inspired by things going on around her, or at least some of them are. I mean, she made a pair of scissors in home ec class, and then she was inspired to make a repair card when the curtains were ripped, but I don't know, I guess like the Blaze card didn't pop up on a day where she was like playing with matches or something, so sometimes the cards are random and sometimes they're not. Anyway, fortunately, to cover for Sakura suddenly disappearing, Shaoran happens to be passing by, and since he's got all of the Clow cards now, or the Sakura cards, but I'm just going to call them the Clow cards, he casts the mirror card so that there is a Sakura stand-in until she figures out how to fix her whole size problem. And I like this little thing they do with the shadow, and they show like the mirror card shadow. That's a nice artistic touch. One presumes now that in the next chapter, Sakura is going to have some kind of like micro adventure in the big world. The same way that like in the anime, she had her small adventure in her house. She's going to have like a micro adventure in the neighborhood, which, you know, there's a whole lot of shenanigans you can get into when she's like less than a few centimeters tall. I mean, look at her compared to like Akiho's feet. She's tiny. So that's also followed up with a scene at home where Sakura, who's wearing this weird outfit. Look, like, I appreciate that she's a kid and she's trying out a lot of fashion, but there are certain outfits that just aren't working, okay? Like, they can't all be hits. Some of them are going to be misses, and this is one of the misses. It looks like a skirt, but it's definitely shorts, and it doesn't work. I say this as a 30-year-old male. I totally know fashion. Trust me on this. Up in her room, she talks with Kiro and Suppi about her little shocking other people problem, and they both decide to try and test it, and they find out that, yeah, it's definitely only Shaoran who's affected. Everyone else, like I said earlier, is completely normal. So instead, I want to talk about the weird way that Kiro is being drawn in this series recently. Like, I don't know who's responsible for drawing Kiro, but they should be fired. I know it's one of the people in Clamp, so I mean, like, I don't want them to actually go away, but seriously, like, what is with Kiro recently? He looks so, like, short and stumpy, kind of, well, he looks dumpy. He used to be more sleek and round. His ears, I'm pretty sure his ears are getting bigger. And I don't know. I don't like the way they've been drawing Kiro in really any of Clear Card, come to think of it. Soupy looks fine, though. Soupy looks completely normal. Perhaps more interesting also is that we get the first indication that Sakura remembers the dream that she had where Xiaoran is in Akiho's robes. At the time, this was like a big revelation. It's like, oh my god, Xiaoran's involved in something. But as the series has gone on, we found out that the only thing he was involved in was stealing the cards, which maybe that's what this dream was going for, was to just say that Xiaoran is, hiding something and he's responsible for stuff happening in your life. Unless Xiaoran is actually the double secret villain, like not only did he steal the cards, but he is actually manipulating Kaito, in which case he's like double lying to Sakura. I don't know, I think that's getting a little too deep, and if Xiaoran is somehow the mastermind manipulating Kaito, and he's somehow manipulating the person who put the other curse on him that's hurting him with the magic, then it's like, now he's just punishing himself, and I really don't think this is that kind of series. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about this chapter. It's kind of one of those lull chapters between like the big moments. We've had a lot of chapters that are like exposition or like big moments happening. This is one of those smaller chapters where not a lot happens. It's just a time to breathe and relax and get ready for, again, what I hope is a cute chapter next month where we get Sakura as a tiny little fairy person flying around a really big town. But thanks for watching. Hopefully my next video will be my first episode of watching Cardcaptors. I recorded that, and that was pretty fun. But I think that's pretty obvious when I'm one of those people who says I like Cardcaptors. Let me just say that it was a good experience. Spoiler alert. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.